guys, welcome back to the channel. This is HowFast. I want to thank you guys for watching last week's video. We had a blast out there, and if you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch the last video that we posted. It was at Grand Bend Motorplex for the Windsor weekend, and we brought the family out. The kids got to see the junior dragsters, and went to the beach after. It was a really good time. So this week we're back in HQ working on Dodgey, and we're going to keep working on the brakes. Now the brakes are just about done, and I got a couple updates for you guys. But first, I want to start by saying big thanks to Ken Denhollander. Ken commented on the video from 2 weeks ago, and he pointed out a mistake I had made, and I appreciate it. Ken had pointed out that I have my brake calipers on upside down, and you can see the bleeder screw here is pointing down, and when that's happening, we'll never get all the air out, as he had said. So I thought, first of all, I wanted to thank you, Ken, because without guys like you pointing me in the right direction, I would be making mistakes and running into these later on and being like, why isn't this working? So I really appreciate that. So guys, I want to point that out. If you guys see me making a mistake, I'm not a professional. I think I should throw this caveat in on every video. I'm not a professional. I just like to work with my hands and build things. I've played with cars my whole life. If I make a mistake like this, call me out on it. I love to hear it, and it keeps me going in the right direction. So Ken, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. So I thought about this the other day, and I thought, how did I make this mistake? Like, what was going through my head when I put this caliper on? I thought about it. I figured it out. Now, as you guys know, I've been having problems with the feed screw on these. This side being metric, this side being imperial, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I know that this casting number says that it's for the front right. So there I put it on the front right. But Dodgey isn't just any car, right? He's not a production car. Everything on him is custom, and he is Frankenstein, for lack of a better term. This brake caliper is meant for the front right, but this brake carrier on whatever car this originally came on would have been back here, and the brake caliper would have been here on the brake rotor, making this the front right, and the bleeder screw then facing up, because it would be over here. Okay, so here, we figured out where I went wrong. So what are we going to do to fix not only this, but that one being imperial? Well, I thought I'll just go get a new caliper for the other side, and then I'll just swap them. No big deal, right? It was harder than I thought. In fact, I don't want to say it was okay, I failed. I'll give it to you. I failed. I am not joking when I tell you I called every car part place I could. I called CarQuest, I called Canadian Tire, I called Napa, I called like these small local ones. There was a problem. So here's what I know. There's no casting mark on that one. We know the casting mark on this one. So I say, I have this, I want the other side. Should be simple, but it's not. When I give them this casting number and tell them I want the other side, there's always some problem where they give it to me, they bring it in, and it's imperial. I had 2 companies bring in calipers for me from different manufacturers, and either it's not the same caliper or it is a 7/16 20 thread on the back. So I got this one, and I thought this was the right one. And gosh, it looks the part. But when I put it up next to this one, I can see that it's considerably smaller. Like, it's not the same caliper. That was the closest one. That was the closest one I could get. So I'm at a loss. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I can't seem to find the other side of this that's metric. Do I go and try and find this one that we have the casting number for and try and get it in an imperial thread? I don't know. So as much as I don't like doing this, it was definitely the easiest and fastest way for us to just keep moving forward. I went and got a set of imperial flex lines. So now we can use that caliper that's on the other side that is the right size and the right shape. It's just got the wrong thread. That'll fit now. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take this caliper off of here, that caliper off of there. We're going to move that caliper over here, and we're going to switch out this flex. Excuse me. I'm recording right now. Okay then. You don't need to be rude about it. I'll be over there in a second. Excuse me. We're going to replace this flex line. Yo. This flex line with the one that I just picked up, and it should work on that caliper over there, which will then be over here facing the bleeder screw the right way. We should be good to go. All right, that's enough. Let's go play. Come on, let's go play. You want the ball? Go get it. Get the ball. Get it. Good girl. Here, give it to me. Thank you. Ready? Go get it. Good girl. So that's the plan for today. We'll work on the brakes. We'll get those swapped over, and then I was thinking we could probably do a little bit of shop cleanup because this place is getting kind of stuffy with all the parts we're collecting in here. And maybe even if we have a little bit more time, I might start doing a little bit more of the bodywork on Dodgey's front end here. We could start sanding down and putting some of the actual body filler in some of the cleaning up some of the small cracks, and then sand that down, and this thing should be ready to get primed and painted. So I'm gonna set up the camera and get started on the brakes. Today, boys and girls, but brakes are all switched over. All the bolts fit, feels good. The back brakes now. If you remember, 2 weeks ago we were talking about that hat in the back, that's the hat and rotor that are missing from the driver's side rear, and I ended up taking some measurements on it, and I went hunting, and I came up empty a lot over the past couple months, but just recently I found one part, and believe it or not, guys, a discontinued part, apparently one left on the shelf through a racing company, and right now they're on the hunt for it, and hopefully we'll have it in our hands here in the next couple weeks, and that'll be the last piece of the puzzle for the brakes, other than the brake pads, which may be a hunt all on their own, but I think we'll find something that works. Okay, so now that we get those brakes on, let's do a little shop cleanup. Like I said, a lot of parts have been kind of piling up in here, and it'd be nice to organize them and maybe put a couple on. I don't know. Let's take a look. guys, it's actually later on at night. I just got back into town. I was out actually shooting another YouTube video for another YouTube channel. So I'll link that channel down below. But as far as what's going on with this thing, I need to put a good scuff on everything. And there are certain areas like the numbers here where I have to kind of work down like this ridge, this edge that's here. And there's a couple areas where like I filled cracks that like I took some of the character lines out. So I'm going to kind of have to work those in. Other than that, I'm going to get some, after I get a good scuff on it, I'm going to go and get some body filler here and just start filling in all the small cracks and the small imperfections in this. And then tomorrow morning, we'll come out here and we'll sand it all down. Okay guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Got the front end basically ready for some primer. I'm probably just going to touch it up in a couple more little spots, little pinholes that I didn't catch on the first time around. So I will take care of that this week or probably next weekend. The brakes, as I mentioned, we're waiting on that one company to get back to us. So hopefully they have the part. Hopefully we'll get in touch with them and they can get us that back brake hat that we're looking for. Next week, we're also going to start getting the torque converter and the flex plate put onto the engine and transmission, get them bolted together for once and for all, and then we'll start lowering it into the engine compartment and bolting the engine in. Now, as far as the How Fast trivia goes, last week's question was a very hard one, and congratulations, Pavel, for getting the correct answer. It was, even though it was a guess, the question last week was, what was the name of the 1,000-mile endurance race which took place in Italy 24 times between 1927 and 1957? Your options were A, the Mille Miglia, B, the Enduro 1000, C, the Gran Torino, or D, the Giro d'Italia. The correct answer was A, the Mille Miglia. So again, this week's question is a little bit harder, and some of you Bond fans might get this one. So this week's question for the How Fast trivia: which Bond girl did Citroen feature in their 1985 advertising campaign? Was it A, Grace Jones? Was it B, Ursula Andress? Was it C, Honor Blackman? Or was it D, Diana Rigg? I look forward to hearing you guys' comments and questions. If you want to get in touch with me, you get me at howfast10@gmail.com, or you get me on Instagram at how__fast. I will catch up with you guys next week, find out how fast we can make this car go.